Oh, just jacking off my deck. What? I'm from Texas. What did you think? Yeah, note to self, it's not a good idea to go into a lawnmower shop with a heavy Texas accent and say, "Can I look at your deck?" They don't take well to that. So some of you guys wanted to see my deck, my lawnmower deck. And here we go. So people wanted to see the edge. I reinstalled, these are rotary copper heads. They look just like, what you call them, gator blades. Very similar with the 3 teeth on the back. And these are straight as an arrow, all 3 of them. They're brand new and they're balanced. They're straight, yada yada. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna have to put the phone down and align these up real quick, but people wanted to see the with these blades, how close do they get? Maybe they're the wrong size. No, they're the right size as well. So let me show you that here. Okay, so this is kind of hard to do. I'm holding the phone with one hand. I'm going to spin the blade with the other. But if you look down towards the end, you could see that they're almost touching. We're talking less, like a quarter of an inch gap. So let's look right here as the blade comes around. I mean, they're that far apart, and that's the levelness of them. I know it won't focus, but there we go. I mean, they're right next to each other. So I'll spin it around 180 degrees, come around, check the other side down there. I mean, it's right on the money there. And let's check this one. That's the gap. We're talking, well, let me get them closed again. I mean, a couple thickness of a fingernail gap. And when you look, if I can hold the camera here, I mean, they're level, they're on. So there's no deck issue. There's no spindle issue, and the spindle mounts to the deck, right? So if that was out of whack, we would have 1, interference, 2, a bigger gap, 3, and something would be off. And the blades are straight as an arrow. And I know this is hard to see holding the phone laying sideways on the ground here, but everything looks good under here. And yes, the blades are on properly. Some people have commented that before. I'm going to put the baffles back on, and I'm just going to rest them in position, and I'll show you what the baffles look like. They look very similar to the Gravely, actually, where they have that little gap, and I'll show you that here. All right, like magic, the mulch kit is reinstalled. I did not install all the bolts, but the baffles are in the positions that they need to be in. So obviously we're missing a bolt here. Let's climb underneath. And you can see over here, get this blade out of the way. You can see that single bolt in the bottom. There's missing one on the top. But then there's the other baffle that goes around. And then down there, where that's another single bolt. And there's missing one on the top, and then the other plate on the other side. Hard to see over there. We'll go on the other side in a minute. But this is the position of the baffles, and they're level to the deck. The baffles aren't bent. There's only one way to put them in. There's bolts that go through the top of the deck with nuts and washers that secure it. There's even this little tab over here that goes into the deck. And when these are all tightened up, I mean, it's wiggling around a little bit, but you get the idea. You know, once you snug everything up, there's no interference, and there's no other way to put these in. You cannot confuse these baffles or put them in wrong. It simply wouldn't work. But looking down the edge of the blade, as you spin the blade and follow it along the line of the deck, like if you take this and draw a straight line, the blades are fine, everything is fine. Now what's interesting is there's a notch right here, and there's the same on the other side. See if I can get you the shot. Yeah, that indentation right there. So it does allow some airflow between the chambers. But what I'm finding is that right here seems to be the area right along the edge and down, and that notch there on these two corners, right where the blades meet, is where I'm finding the strips of grass. So there's one there, and then there's one on the other side down there. But other than that, I don't know why this is leaving strips of grass with the baffles in place. I'm baffled. So, not sure what you guys think. You guys wanted to see a video of the baffles and underneath the deck, so there you go. These are the 3 Hustler OEM mulch blades that come with a mulch kit. They're all stacked on top of each other, and they're all perfect. They're the correct length, they're the correct size, they're balanced for the most part. I did take a little chunk out of one piece on the back, tiny little nick in it, but they're fine, they're straight, they're level. These are fine. So I get the same results with the mulch kit with the baffles installed when I have these blades on or those gator / copperhead blades. It doesn't cut it, it leaves 2 strips, so the blades are not the issue. Rotary copperhead blades, all nice and flat. No issues with them either. I think I'm just gonna have to get rid of this mulch kit. You know, this is $300. Seems like a big waste of money. If I can remove these and it mows good with the mulch blades on, then I mean, I'll just have to put a grass flap on here or something. And like I said in my previous videos, I've been emailing Hustler for months to see if they make just a block off plate. I really don't need a grass flap. I just want to close this off. And they're like, oh, we'll look into it. And I emailed them 3 times now, and no response from Hustler. So shame on you, Hustler. So I fired another email off to them, letting them know I have this problem. Maybe it's an issue. Maybe it's like, yeah, we make a mulch kit, but it's not the best. Hey, at least you're honest, you know. But shoot, at this point, I'd love to get $300 back from this mulch kit, but I don't think I'll be able to. And for all you purists out here, it's fully installed now. We've got the nuts with the washers. Everything's on. All the nuts and washers are in. Everything's torqued to spec. No deviation. Still no interference. But as you can see here, the gap is very minimal. Everything's level. This is the area where the grass doesn't get cut for some reason. Something to do with this design, this passage, this notch, perhaps, but don't know what to tell you. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna pitch the deck a little bit differently and see what happens. Alright, so I just re-leveled the deck. I actually made it 3 inches even all the way around. It was pitched up in the back about 1/4 of an inch or so. But I want you to see this area. I mean, what is this? 6 to 8 inch weeds here. I mean, very, very small. Very, very small. Thin. I mean, small stuff. But I wanted to show you an example, and hopefully you can see this whole area was like that. I'm going to use this stick. Do you see right here that strip and this strip of weeds? Maybe if I stand up it'll be better. But there's a line right there, and there's a line right there. I'll come back down so you can see it. Maybe zoom in a little. There you go. Now you can see that strip right there and that strip right there. I just came through and mowed that whole area. And these are the results. This is what I'm seeing with my Hustler FasTrak. Hustler FasTrak is not mowing for shit. Doesn't matter if the deck is leveled or not. The blades are on properly, they're fine, they're sharp, everything's brand new. This is the type of results I'm getting. So you can see right there with my finger, that's the edge where the edge of the mower, and then there's one strip, there's another strip, and then it's clean right there. So that's one pass, and that's the results I get with this mulch kit.